I don't think I've seen a single person that went that was not happy overall with the event.
I will say the VIP thing.
I made a note of that. I made a note.
It's the only thing I heard
that.
complaints about.
So I saw, I think it was Michael Stahl in the Facebook group made a note about how he bought it. It was $460 something bucks.
Oh,
for the VIP
there was a lot of
package.
posts about it. Yeah,
and he did point out that there was no gift bag. There was really not a lot that went with that.
Sure.
I think that needs work. That's one of the things. So I wanted to touch on the things that needed work, the things that I thought went really well, and maybe some stuff they could add. But the things that needed work were the VIP bundle, even though I do believe they got like a skip the line pass. The other thing I think that could use a little work is the card dealer side of things. The issue I have there is simply, when you go in, there's tables. There's like I think I mentioned on the last podcast, there's a third of the event center is for the card dealers, which is great. It was a good amount of size.
Card show floor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Certainly not the size of the National. Certainly nothing compared to that size of people set up. However, the people that were set up, they did not, for the most part, most of them did not have anything besides singles. And that is actually what I'm coming to find out is part of a union thing that you have talked about in past, where you go, you bring all your stuff, and then you got union guys at the center wanting their cut. And when I'm
use the hand trucks, the dollies, load anything up.
They're like, hey, you got a pallet? Okay, a pallet. I talked to Mojo about this. They ended up doing a lot of stuff where they shipped stuff in individual boxes because to do a pallet, thousands of dollars to bring in a pallet.
You got to know how to deal with those people.
It was $7,000, I think, to bring in one or two pallets. I think I was talking to another. I told one of the guys I wasn't going to mention names because he actually did say this. He said, you slip these guys some money, and we're talking, as opposed to a bill for $11,000.
$100.
Like he would do like $400.
All right, it's a sucker.
But I mean,
let me tell you the actual solution, because we ran into this in Chicago. You give my old man $500, the Teamsters, the union guys will come and not only let you use the dolly, they'll load it up for you.
Well, that's what they were saying. They were like, "Yeah,
you got to
move it in $400."
You got to know somebody.
But that was what's amazing. I guarantee you, there were people that paid that though. I saw another post that like said something about there's never been a successful show in downtown New York, Manhattan area is just, you can't do it. It's too expensive, yada, yada. That is not the case anymore.
It wasn't a card show. That's why I was actually talking to Tim about this an hour ago. It's not a card show. A card show is a small piece of it.
So card show would be, I would say, like literally like a third of the center was a card show. The other 2/3 was an interactive sporting event for fans. And it's funny because when they were talking about like a what is it when they do it for like Star Wars and other things like that?
Comic-Con.
Yeah, like a Comic-Con for sports. When they described it as that, I was like, no, I don't think it's going to work. I don't think those people and sporting fans are not the same crossover. But what you found was that is not the case whatsoever.
A lot of crossover.
A lot of crossover.
All right, let me ask you this. Of every 100 people who walked in the door, if you randomly polled them, how many were card fans? Okay, let's just break this down. How many were card fans like me, going there to buy cards? Out of 100 random people.
You're saying that's what they were specifically going there for?
Nope, I'm just saying that they're big card fans, though.
Oh, just strictly big card fans? Maybe like 10%. But if you talked about like football, baseball, basketball, your three big ones, then there's very few that wouldn't go over and check out those tables. Okay. And here's the thing. Other than Friday morning, which that was probably the slowest point
I was
over
a little nervous. When
the
you
whole time.
Started posting video and sending, I was like, this is a disaster.
Friday morning, obviously, that's still a work day, and some people are back in school, yada, yada. But by the afternoon and by Saturday, it was slammed.